What's going on, everybody? It's Wade with Swamp Donkey Archery. So I got a video I want to do for you today. This one's going to kind of go in conjunction with another one that I done here about a year ago, talking about things that can help your shot process, help improve accuracy. Like I think I done it top 5 things to help improve your shot or something like that. So in that, I covered a few things. In this video, I want to cover why. All right, how are you fine folks doing today? Hope everybody's doing good. So as I mentioned in the intro, I done a video here. It's been about a year ago. I'll post a link to it right here. Not sure what corner it's going to be on. In that video, I went over kind of the most common mistakes or wrongs that I've seen people do to decrease their accuracy, decrease their inconsistency. I hate saying doing something wrong, because I've mentioned before, I don't care if you do something wrong. If you do it the same amount of wrong every single time, we can usually, get you consistent. So what I want to do in this video is the stuff that I talked about, hand grip, face pressure, stuff like that. And you've probably heard a lot of other people mention this as well. Any of y'all watching videos to do a little bit of research, try to get you a little bit of information to help you improve your skills. You'll hear the front hand grip super important, face grips important, and a lot of people don't explain why. That's what I want to do in this video. So I'm going to go through a couple of the most common ones, like what we had discussed in the earlier one, and I'm going to shoot through paper to show you the difference. So you have a visual of, you're not just hearing somebody say, hey, you need proper hand grip, or it's gonna mess your air flight up. I want to shoot my bow through paper with it tuned correctly, and with proper form and all that, and then I'm going to shoot it through paper using what I would consider incorrect form and show you the difference in arrow flight. Now, I know some of y'all is going to say, oh, paper tuning isn't the end-all be-all of tuning a boat. No, you're right, and that's not what this video is about. What paper is really good for is giving you a little bit of feedback, a little bit of information where you can see what your arrow is doing and see little small corrections that you do, and you can see how it influences the arrow as it leaves your bow. So, for the purpose of this, my bow is going to be tuned. I'm going to shoot, like I said, first with it right. I'm going to shoot a bullet hole, and then I'm going to do things wrong and show y'all how it does downrange. So we'll go through different scenarios of how I see people doing these things, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like through there. So let me get everything set up. Okay, so the couple that I'm wanting to go over, it's mainly going to consist of 2 different things. I want to go over difference in front hand grip, and I'm going to go over string pressure. String pressure would be the least one of my concerns, but when I'm talking about grip, I want to go over like proper grip. I'm going to go over the death grip, the people that's going to grab your bow and just squeeze the guts out of it. Hands are lined up down the front of the riser. Fingers are gripped all the way around it. And then I might even go over some of the open hand shooters. So first, I'm going to, let's see what my errors is. I want to shoot through this paper first to show y'all that it is properly tuned. And then that's going to give us our baseline, and we're going to go from there. And I'm going to mark each one of these holes as we go in the description of each. So here we go. First shot, proper form, proper grip, no face pressure, any of that. So All right. Maybe even a second. So, I want to show you. Here we go. This is our first shot. This is proper grip, properly tuned bow, all that. Now, before we get into anything, this is, like I said, properly tuned, shooting correct arrows and all that. There's so many different things that could go into correcting arrow tears. This ain't what we're talking about. This is, we know for a fact your bow's tuned, and I'm gonna say this. So a lot of people will say that a bow technician can't set up and tune a bow and send it to a customer, or tune it and have a customer come in and that customer walk out. But what we can do is, we know that with our form and us feeling like we're doing everything correctly, that we can get the bow to shoot a bullet hole within a certain percentage of what we would consider perfect. Okay. So what that will help with is, when you have your customer come in, if you want them to shoot it through paper, or I have a lot of people send me their bows, I tune their bows and then I send it to them. And I know that when that bow left here, it was shooting a bullet hole. And if they're getting something different, I can ask them, what's your grip look like? What's your nose pressure look like? And all this, and it gives me an avenue that I can travel down to kind of figure out what we can do to fix it. So how this wouldn't work is, if I don't already set the bow up and have it tuned, and then I just send the bow out and somebody says, hey man, it's got to tear this far to the right. I don't know, is it the person that's doing it? Is it the equipment doing it? If I can see that the equipment is shooting it correctly, and then somebody, a customer comes and gets their bow and it doesn't shoot correctly, got a starting point there. So I want to clarify that. But yeah, you can't specifically set a bow up for somebody, but if you set a bow up for somebody that shoots the same way you do, using proper form or whatever, it's going to shoot very, very similar. Slight inconsistencies and difference in hands and slight grip's going to matter a little bit. They may have to tweak it a little, but for the most part, it should be good to go. I think I'll do nose pressure first, because that'll be the least. I don't know what that was, where did that come from? Something just fell, I don't even know what it was. I think that would be the least commonly caused issue. It would cause you the least amount of problem. Now, when I'm talking about face pressure, I'm not talking about just, sometimes I say nose pressure, because I tell all my 4-H students put their nose on the string. But when I'm going to say extreme face pressure, I'm fixing to pull this string back into my cheek, past my nose, and I'm going to put a lot of pressure on the string. I see that a lot with new archers, not knowing the proper way to anchor. And you can tell them, hey, that's causing a lot of problems. So let's see what it causes. So extreme face pressure. See if I can even make myself do this. All right, I hope y'all can see that. I'm gonna pull it back into my face, hard on the nose. Okay, here we go. All right. So with me, on excessive face pressure, you can see it's got a pretty hard left hand tear right there. Now, we're going to simulate a couple of other things. All right. So this one is probably going to be the most common one I see. That is the death grip guy. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you in the video. I was actually going to get my boy to come out here and film this with me, but today's his first day out of school, and I think he's going to nap all day. So when you draw back with the death grip, I think I can do this with the air point so you can see. So if you got your hands around it and you squeeze the bow, you can see all I'm doing is just squeezing with these fingers, varying where my grip is, and you can see how much that affects the bow. All right, so what I want you to look at from the back is the same thing. If that lines up, when I squeeze it, you can see it rolls. Well, if after you draw back, if you squeeze it, it rolls this way. Your string comes off your bow at an angle like this, and then you see your string's over here, And that'll cause several different things. Not only what cause, crazy aeroflight, but also you've probably seen people, I don't know what happened. I didn't dry fire my bow. I just drew back and shot and my string derailed. Well, if you got your bow canted like this from gripping it and your string's rolling off your cam, it just missed your cam whenever you let go. So that will cause several different things. So this is probably fixing to cause an ugly tear because I'm going to go with extreme grip on this, do some extreme torque just to get my point across. Slight torque, slight variation. I'll do a slight torque on it too. So let's do extreme hard grip, torquing the bow out to the left, I guess you'd say. So here we go. Extreme hand grip. Now that's got it almost rolling off the cam right there. Almost shot through the same hole. Let's do that again. That just tore over the that just tore over my nose pressure. So, all right. Extreme hand grip. Straight up and down hand grip, I'll call it. There we go. Right there. All right. That was ugly. Do this now. So like I said, keep in mind, I ain't changed nothing on the tune of the bow. This here was the face pressure. That was the first shot. You can see it kind of tore into it. But this was just varying on hand grip. I'm going to shoot it again, still torquing it the same way, but with a little lighter pressure to kind of simulate just a difference in how somebody's hand. And also, I'm not holding it out like this on my 45 degree. I'm holding it like this. So I'm going to shoot it with just mild tension, but with my straight up and down grip. Not as bad. This would be a normal difference that I would see. Bullet hole, mild grip right there. Not putting a whole lot of tension on the bow, but rather than being rolled with the low 45 grip, holding straight up, just enough tension on it to kind of hold the bow steady. That's kind of common right there. That if that's how a person was going to continue to shoot, he's like, man, this is where I always shot. This is where I love it. This is how I want to continue to shoot it. That's fine. We can tune that out. We'll move that rest a little bit to the right, and he's going to shoot bullet holes. As long as he's going to hold it the exact same way every single time, we can deal with that. That's not too bad. Now, if you just throw a bare shaft on there, or if you're trying to broadhead tune, that might cause some different issues. So now, the one I want to simulate is a person that has hit his arm so many times that he's wanting to hold his wrist like this to make sure he gets his bow out of there, gets his arm out of the way. And what that's going to do is going to twist the bow this way. So now we're going to simulate that one. Straight up and down. We're twisting the wrist over to make sure we don't pop this arm. Now the string's hanging off the right side of the cam, which in turn caused a right hand tear. So let's look at this. See that right there? That was, I'm twisting my wrist like this right here because I don't want to pop my arm. Y'all want to tell Delta hi? There's Delta. Delta. You want to say hi? Oh. She says it's raining. She don't like it when it rains out here. So, all right. So the next one I want to simulate, and I'm not for sure how this one's actually going to do. This one is the OG. If you see somebody shooting this way, they're either one, been shooting a long time, or two, they was trained by somebody that shot a long time. That's the open hand shooter. That's the guy that's going to he's going to hold it more straight like this, but he's going to leave his hand open like this when he shoots. And these, and you know who you are are the hardest headed archers out there, because you're not going to change their mind. And whenever I shoot through the paper right now, they might have justification, but I want to see what it is. But the thing that gets me on these guys that want to just shoot with their hand open and relaxed is, after a little while, I don't care how hard you try, your brain is going to tell you to close your hand, catch that bow. You're afraid it's going to jump forward, catch the bow. That is the biggest concern to me on this one. Open-handed, open-handed grip, as long as you don't do this. Let's see how it does. And it's still holding it straight up and down. We're still not doing the rolled out like what I always teach. Straight up and down, relaxed hand. I still think it's going to tear some because I can feel some torque on my riser. But all right, open hand. Let's see how she does. Not bad. A very, very slight right hand tear. Just a smidge, or left hand tear. Just a smidge. Not bad. That's actually tolerable if you can do it every single time. I want to see if I can kind of make my hand kind of close and see if that's gonna make a little difference there. I don't know if it will or not. I'm trying to go ahead and get this video done because it's fixing to start doing some thundering and lightning here in just a few minutes. So, all right, same grip, open hand, straight up and down, and I'm going to try to catch my bow as I shoot. No, didn't make a difference. Didn't make a difference. Still the same hole. Actually, really pretty hole. Look at that. That's really nice. Okay, so if you're going to do one of the ones that I would consider wrong, be the open hand shooter. Like I said, y'all the hard-headed guys anyway. I'm not going to change your mind. But I wanted you to see the difference. And a lot of those were extreme grip on that, putting a lot on it. And I did that to prove a point, to show y'all that, hey, it does make a big difference. Trying to think if there's any other I wanted to do. That was the main ones I want to cover because that's the two main things that I see impacting aeroflight. I think I covered draw length in the other video, but when you're doing draw length, you're still impacting where the string hits your face or whether you're pushed forward or something like that, and all that's going to matter, string pressure and your grip. Anyway, so like I said, I just want to show you, y'all have probably heard it 1,000 times. You know, make sure you got proper grip. Make sure you don't have too much face pressure on your string. And as far as I've been able to see, nobody's been able to show you why. You know, they just tell you it impacts your errors downrange. Well, this shows you how and why it impacts your errors downrange. And in case one of y'all don't feel like going back and watching a video that you may not have seen, what I consider proper grip is I always tell everybody, you know, if you had somebody coming at you and you wanted to stop them, you wouldn't put your hand out like this to stop them, would you? Because that's how a lot of people grab their bow, like this. You wouldn't put your hand out like this to stop them, would you? You'd put your hand like this, put it in the middle of their chest. Well, I know some of y'all draw back and punch them in the face. I get you. Well, I'm talking about you're wanting to stop them from walking at you. You're going to do this. You're going out like this. You're going to line your wrist up with your elbow, shoulder, and everything. You're going to do this to put as much leverage behind it as you can. It's what I want to do with this bow. I'm wanting to keep this bow away from you. I want to keep this bow from impacting you, and I want you to push your bow toward the target. Well, when you do this, that's how your hand sits. That's how I want you to grab the bow. I want it to sit just to the outside of your lifeline. Your thumb's rolled out at about a 45-degree angle. Your grip sits nice on that meaty part of your hand. Your thumb is going to face forward, and then you're just going to lightly lay your fingers on the front of the riser. If you look, I don't know if you can see or not, this part of my hand is not even touching the bow. The only thing touching the bow is the back of my palm, my thumb, and the front of these fingers on the front right there. And that's just enough to touch the front of the bow to tell my brain that it's not going anywhere. Okay, that's what I call proper grip right there. And when you do that, if you look, it automatically rolls your elbow out and it keeps it out of the way of your string. I can usually tell real fast when somebody's got an improper grip, because when they draw back, I can see their wrist almost, or whenever they anchor, I can see their wrist almost touching their cable and almost touching the string before they even draw it back. Proper grip, it's out here like this. So, hope that helps. I've been wanting to do this video for the past 2 or 3 weeks, but this rain right here has got me. It's either been raining, I've been working, I've been out of town, or I've been out of town and working. So, just hadn't been able to put it together until today. So, yeah, I hope y'all liked the video. If you got any other questions, hit me in the comments down there. If you've seen anything else that y'all would like to share with me that's impacting your air flight when it comes to front hand or your reference hand, y'all let me know in the comments down there. Other than that, guess that's about it. So y'all, if y'all need to get a hold of me, look me up on swampdonkeyarchery.com. It's got all my contact info there. It's got my Instagram, my Facebook, link to my YouTube, which if you're watching on YouTube, you're already there. So anyhow, guess that's it. Can't think of nothing else. So y'all have a good one. I'll catch y'all on the next one.